Welcome back, super friends. Today we are going to focus on adding and subtracting decimals in a two-step word problem. So today what you need is your math notebook or folder, a pencil to write with, and don't forget that super brain of yours. Stay tuned for the video. Okay, super friends, we are going to solve some multi-step word problems dealing with adding and subtracting decimals. Let's get started on our first question. It says, to get to school each day, Harper walks 0.2 miles to the bus stop, rides the bus 3.85 miles, and then walks 0.3 miles from the bus stop to school. How far away from school does Harper live? So for this, all we're doing is adding up all those distances that she travels in order to get from home to school. And in order for us to make it easier in our brains for us to add, I'm going to start adding our 0.2 with our 0.3 first. And then I'll take that and add our 3.85. So far we have 2 plus 3. In the 10th place, that is going to be 5. Bring down my decimal point. Then I have 0 plus 0, that's 0. Now I'm going to have my 3.85. This is my second step. So far this was step 1. Now let's do step 2, which is adding our 3.85. And this is step 2. Multi-step means that there's more than one step. All right, so I don't have anything in my hundredths place for my 0.5, so I'm going to put a 0 there, and I call these placeholders. That way we don't get confused. So now I have 0 plus 5. I know how to do that. That is 5. Then I have in my 10th place, I have 5 plus 8. That is 13. I'm going to regroup to my ones place. Now I have my decimal point in front of it, and I have 1 plus 0, which is 1, and then 1 plus 3, which is 4. So she travels 4.35 miles from home to school. Let's do the next problem. Okay, our next problem says, Sawyer has $12.50. He purchases, which means I'm going to subtract, he purchases 3 bags of candy that were each $1.24, and 1 bottle of water, which I'm glad he's drinking water, 1 bottle of water for $1.86. How much money did he have left? That means I'm going to subtract ultimately to get my answer, but this is 2 steps. So my first step is I'm going to try to figure out how much money he spent on those 3 bags of candy. So I'm going to have 1.24 3 times. I'm going to stack them all up together so I can add them together and get my total of these 3 bags of candy. So that way, once I get my total, I can go ahead and subtract it from how much money he had. So, and also I have to add, okay, this one's 3 steps. I thought it was only 2 steps. This one will be 3 steps. It's not going to be that bad. Step 1. All right, so in my hundredths place, I have 4 plus 4, that's 8. 8 plus 4, that's 12. 2 down here, 1 up here. Now I have 1 plus 2, that's 3. 3 plus 2, that's 5. 5 plus 2, that's 7. My 7, bring down my decimal point. Then I have 1, 2, 3. So this is how much the candy costs. Let's add the water to it. I'm basically trying to figure out how much money did he spend so that I can subtract it from how much money he has and then get how much he has left over. So this is step 2. This is the water plus the total candy. So 2 plus 6 is 8. 7 plus 8 is going to be 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, which is what I thought, but I had to double check. Regroup. Bring down my decimal. 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. So far, this is how much money he spent on the candy and water. So this is candy and water. Water. And now in our final step, step 3, we're going to take how much money he has, which is $12.50, and subtract how much money he spent, which was $5.58. Can I do 0 minus 8? No, I cannot. So borrow and regroup. Now I can do 10 minus 8, which is 2. Can I do 4 minus 5? No, I cannot. Borrow. Now this is 14. 14 minus 5, that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's 9. Bring down my decimal point. Now I have 1 minus 5. Can I do that? No. Borrow from this 1 over here. That turns to 0. Now this is 11. 11 minus 5. That is 6. So the amount of money that he has left, over, is his $6.92. And this was done in 3 steps. Let's move on to the next problem. Okay, this next problem says Ginger ran 3 miles yesterday in 26.84 minutes. The first mile was ran in 8.29 minutes. The second mile was ran in 9.41 minutes. What was the time on her third mile? All right, so this one's a couple of steps as well. Step 1, I want to figure out how many total minutes did she run already. So far, or in those 2 miles that they gave us, the first and the second mile. That way we can figure out the third mile. So I need to add her first and second mile together. And then in my next step, I would subtract that total from her 3 miles total. And that will give us how much she did in the third mile. So let's get started. 8.29 minutes, and then 9.41 minutes. Remember, this is just adding, so it doesn't matter which number goes first. 9 plus 1 is 10. I'm going to regroup. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 4 is 7. Bring down my decimal point. Then I have 8 plus 9, that's 17. That's how many minutes she had total for her first and second. So first and second miles. Now let's go to step 2. Step 2, we're going to take her full amount of minutes, which was 26.84, and then we're going to subtract that 17.70 that we found. Once we subtract that, then we'll have our answer. So we're subtracting now, so the bigger number had to go on top. 4 minus 0 is 4. 8 minus 7 is 1. Bring down my decimal point. 6 minus 7 cannot happen. Borrow from the 2. Turns to a 1, this turns to a 16. 16 minus 7, that is going to be 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 9. And then 1 minus 1 is 0. So the amount of minutes that she took for her third mile is 9.14. That's her third mile. 9.14, yeah. That's her third mile time. All right, that's our answer. Okay, use what we learned in these 3 problems to do the other problems. They're very similar. Some of them are even easier where they only have 1 step, or at least you're adding a bunch of times, but if you just chunk it, it'll be easier for you.